Wait.
How are you? Hello? Is it working yet? Maybe it's not working.
Can you guys see us?
Can you hear us? Can you see us?
Oh, Jingle.
What the hell?
Jingle.
What?
Oh, there we go. Now they can see us.
Oh, okay.
Now we can see.
Hello. How is everybody doing today? Meow. So I see Rosie and I see Dan and I see Gabriel. Nice to see you guys. Like my little tag here, the professional poor person. Ah, there's Chris. There you are, Chris. So, okay, everything's good? Hi, TK. Okay, so today, and Jeff, I'm going to have to stop saying hi to everybody or else I'm going to be busy. Today we're going to talk about killifish, but I am by no, oh, sorry, forgot, roar. Get that out of the way. I am by no means a professional or an expert in this situation. All I know is what I've, dealt with and what's worked for me. I've only kept 2 types of killifish, although I did try to hatch a third. That didn't go so well. But yeah, so we'll talk about killifish today, but I'm going to need your help. I'm going to need you to ask questions and tell me things that you've heard so that way we can talk about them, that kind of thing. So, okay, how many people do we got in here yet right now? 8 people. Okay, so like I said, I'm no expert. But the first thing I want to ask you guys, there are so many things that people think they know or may know about killifish. And some of them are misconceptions. There's a lot of rumors and stuff going on. So is there anything that you guys have heard or think you know about killifish? And we'll try to get any myths dispelled if we can. Let's see. Nobody's saying anything yet.
Yeah. So here's that.
Nobody has any killifish facts or myths or anything? Wow, this is going to go slow then tonight.
Nothing about them said.
TK says, yeah, TK says nothing. They're the only ones that said anything so far.
My God, let's pick it up.
Okay, well, first thing, a lot of people.
Oh, what are the water parameters?
Oh, you would ask me that. Okay, that one's a little difficult to do because, okay, all right, let's see. This is what Gabriel says. He says, what are the water parameters they prefer? Now, that can vary because there are some killifish that live in like volcanic waters and stuff, and they prefer like liquid rock basically. But then you've got some that prefer softer. They spawn in peat and such, and they prefer like 6.5 pH. But the ones that I keep them around. I have the Apicimian australe and the Fundulopanchax gardneri. Those I keep in about a 7.3, 7.4 pH, I think. It doesn't seem to bother them, so that seems good for them. I keep them around 75 Fahrenheit, and other than that, they're not picky. Like, they're really hardy fish. They can handle a lot. So as long as you acclimate them correctly and everything, they should be fine. And then let's see. And Rosie,
right now.
Rosie says, is there such a thing as annual killifish? Yes, there are. There are 3 types of killifish, actually. There are the annuals that most people have heard about. And then there's non-annuals, which live longer, and the annuals live in bodies of water that dry up frequently. So that's why they're annuals. They're developed to only live for small, 6 to 9 months. And then they die, and their eggs live on in the dry mud. And then the next spring or the next rainy season, it rains and they hatch. But then there's non-annuals that live in permanent bodies of water, and those live like 2 to 3 to 5 years, something like that, around 3 to 5 years, just about anything that you can think of. And then they've got semi-annuals that's kind of in between, and they're switch spawners. But we'll talk about that later. Jeff says he knows a myth. He said, and let's see. I cannot keep up with this chat thing. This is too fast.
Okay.
Hold on, I gotta put it on here. Okay. Jeff says he knows a myth. Killifish think they kill fish. That is true. A lot of people do think that killifish kill fish. But the funny thing is, killifish is actually derived from, well, no one knows exactly where it derived, but they suspect that it's from a Dutch word, kill or keel, something like that. And it basically means small body of water. And that's where that word came from. And then Gabriel is new to killifish. Christopher, of course, we know you like them, Christopher. Killifish are amazing.
Jago.
And then let's see. Dan says he had a golden winter for about a week. Yeah, yes, exactly. They don't need to be in an open top tank. They're a suicidal little bunch. They're horrible. They will find the smallest hole or crack or whatever, and they will be through it. I swear, I tell people all the time they have superpowers, because just when you think there's no way they can get through this hole, it's good, no way. And then next thing you know, dried up husk on the floor, or dog treats, as it were.
That's happened a lot too much.
Let's not tell. Yes, we've lost a few more than I would like to admit to the lids. Actually, one of the ones we lost the most at one time was when I had actually had the water level down about 5 or 6 inches from the top, and I thought there's no way they'll jump out of that. None. They're juveniles. They're not even colored up yet. They were maybe 2 months old. Lost 4 of them. One go. 4 of them. Let's see. Deacon says he's Anita. Sorry. Anyway. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. That you think they were vicious killers based on their name. And Deacon says he just learned of them today. Well, hopefully I'll be able to tell you some things that you don't know yet. Let's see. I missed some yes, Gabriel. Usual temp. Yeah, they can handle the temperatures anywhere from around low 70s to really low 80s, but I would go more for the lower end of that spectrum, because the higher end, of course, will affect the longevity of their life. Put your dog, please.
Jango.
And can you hold on 1 second? So yes, I keep mine around 75 right now, but 72 to 75 is a good area to keep them in. Let's see. And yes, Jeff, they do jump like crazy. They're nuts. Like I said, I've lost way too many that I will admit to. I'm not giving a number. That's just not good. Okay, and so Annie's in here. Rosie just noticed my tag, the poor professional poor person. Okay, so anybody else got any myths or facts that they think they know? Okay, Christopher, so you keep your 68 to 72. Does that have any impact on their breeding or anything like that? Let's see. See, Christopher keeps his 68 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit. So, and he knows a lot more than I do. So we will defer to his judgment on that. Let's see. While Christopher's answering that, Gabriel says, surely are they good community fish? Okay, that is another question. Yes and no. They can go, some of them can, some of them are really good. Like you've got clown killifish that are good. What is the other one? Another one that I think, I can't think of the other one, another one right now. But now they are nippy, so if you put them in with something that's got like long flowy tails or something, they're going to go after them. And if you put anything in with them that is small enough for them to fit in their mouth, they are very, yes, they will eat them. Let's see, but within reason you can. And if you want to keep them together, I would have one male for every 2 females. So let's see. Does high temps always age? Oh, too fast. Does high temps always age the fish faster? I don't know if it ages all fish faster, but it certainly seems to in most of the fish that I breed or have, like that's a big number. Anyway, so yeah, I don't really know, but I would err on the side of caution and not push the excess temps, in my opinion. I don't know. Let's see. Will they eat my snails and snails' antennas? Deacon, I would not. I think they would, because, like I said, they're nippy and they like going out. If it's small enough for them to eat, they're gonna eat it. They're predators. They're little basic predators. Okay, so Christopher has chimed in. He says depends on the fish. He keeps most of his at room temperatures, but some need higher temps. They literally come from everywhere. It's a lot of different requirements. Good point. They are all over. Literally, I think the only two places that I didn't see any when I was doing some research was Antarctica and Australia, I think. And they're from everywhere else. So yeah, you have to really research the particular one. Go through, look at types of killifish and all that jazz, and figure out which one that seems intriguing to you, and then do some research on that particular one, because they're very varied. They're very different depending on where they come from. So okay, Rosie says, how does she get her eggies? Are they hard to spawn? Well, not the ones that I'm breeding, the Funduloconchax gardneri and the Aphysimian australe. I don't know if I'm pronouncing those correctly, because honestly, I've only ever seen them in print. Those are actually fairly easy. I've got a male and two females in each of the tanks. I've got a breeder mob. Now, you don't want to add like a lot of plants in there, because they will spawn over everything and you won't be able to remove them. But they are not hard to spawn. No, you just, especially the males. The males, you have to be careful. They will go after it. So, hello, Laura. Hi. Yes, Deacon. I do. I haven't really had a lot of them to sell yet. I'm still fairly new with breeding them and everything and raising them, and I haven't had a huge group yet. I haven't had a lot of survival rate, a really high survival rate, so haven't really had a chance to sell a lot of them yet. And okay, Jeff says I'm pronouncing it correctly. Oh yes, Christopher brings up another good point. Joining the American Killifish Association. And by the way, do not be surprised if I look some stuff up, because if you ask me and I don't know, that's where I'm going, aka.org. They have tons of good information there, especially if you're a member, you get to see all kinds of things. So definitely check it out. Go to aka.org, and if you're interested in killies at all, it's definitely worth the joining. I haven't joined yet. It's just a matter of budget and money, but from what I understand, it's definitely a money saver once you get it, get the membership. Let's see. Fook is sleeping, Rosie. Tell him Fook is sleeping. Okay, anybody else got anything else? Because, only like what, 13 minutes in? I'd hate to dry out right now. Let's see.
I tried to spell Sweet Acres' name multiple times. They kept on changing the acre with autocorrect.
Okay, let me see if I can get my notebook. I've got some facts written down that I wanted to share, and I forgot to grab it. Okay,
by the way, I'm in chat for the people who don't know my name.
Yes, that's my kid. That's Anita. All right. I probably didn't write anything down worth. Okay. Fook is good. Yeah. Here, we gotta show that one.
Fook is always gone.
Okay, that's just, we need to get that out of there. Okay, so one thing, of course, there are killifish. I think it's called the least killifish. Those are live bears, if I'm not mistaken. I don't really know a lot about them, but there's one, and I believe it's the least killifish. No. Anyway, it's live bears. Anyway, but the rest of the killifish, real killifish, are not live bears. They're oviparous, which means they lay eggs. Yeah, exactly, Dan. Stop doing topics. Well, I was kind of hoping everybody would be like, hey, well, what about this and what about that? And I've got a question on this and blah, blah, blah. And it's not, I should have known, which is why I kind of like wrote down some facts, but most of them are things that most people already know. Oh, there's over 1,200 species. I think it's like 1,270. Let's see. Oh yes, they can survive in a waterless environment from diapause. I don't know if you guys know what diapause is, but it's basically when it's just what it sounds. It's a pause in the development, and their eggs go through it. That is one really interesting thing about the killifish that I have. Like I was telling you earlier, there are non-annuals, annuals, and semi-annuals. As you can imagine, it's arranged. Annuals live in small bodies of water that dry up. And every time it dries up, they die, and they go crazy breeding before it dries up and lay their eggs all in the muck. And then when it dries up, the eggs in the muck dry up, and they stay there in like basically suspended animation until the rains come back, and then they hatch. With non-annuals, they live in permanent. I was trying to think of the way to say that. Permanent bodies of water. And those, you don't incubate them dry. They're just in water. This dog is killing me. You just leave them in the water just like you do any mock spawner, or you can just take the mop out, put it in there. They will eat their eggs and they will eat their fry though, so you want to watch that. But with semi-annuals are switch spawners, which I think is really cool. That's what my garden rye and the Australia are. They're switch spawners, which means that they live in semi-permanent bodies of water. They're kind of in the middle. And when it does occasionally dry up, when it does, they die and their eggs go into diapause. And then there's, sorry, and then you can oh my God, I'm stuttering like crazy. Or you can incubate them in water, like in a tank, just like you would any other mock spawner. Let's see. And
Rosie has a question.
Okay, Rosie has a question.
I already answered the second one.
How do I go about choosing a breeding pair? Is best to get a pair. Okay. To choose a breeding pair or trio, this is the one thing. Everybody sells these in pairs. They sell them in pairs, and that's about the only way you can get them. You can hardly get an extra female. Well, at least in my experience, so from my limited experience. But everyone that I've talked to, everyone thing that I've read says that it is better to have a trio because the male can be, how do you want to put it, enthusiastic, and it's not uncommon for them to actually kill their mate in the attempt to breed over and over and over. So if you have two females, it'll give one a break, and that way they don't die from exhaustion. Go figure. But as far as choosing a breeding pair, it's just a matter of finding the fish that you like to have the traits that you like, just, as it is with pretty much any breeding. You find the one that has the correct body type. Conformation is what they call it in horses, how they're built. I don't really know if that's the same, if it's universally used or not, but you just find one that has the right traits and has pretty this or beautiful that, and and then you choose that one. So it's not really that much different. Let's see. I'm trying to see. I've got behind on comments. Actually, it could very well be like mollies, Dan. I don't really know. I don't know anything about mollies really, so. See, yes, packing a tank full of Java moss and Java fir and stuff that's a good point. I should have said that. Also, that's another thing. I don't know if people realize this or not. I don't have access to a lot of Java moss. I can put handfuls of it in my tanks and it just goes away. It just disperses and it does not stick around. It does not grow. I think the most successful Java moss I've grown is in this little ball thing. It's one of the, I don't know, it's like it looks like a hut, but it's got holes in it, and the Java moss grows through it. Anyway, but it's still only that long, and I've had it for 6-8 months. And so, yeah, but you can use breeder mops in most of my tanks, whether they're breeding or not. I've got breeder mops in place of plants because plants are expensive. So, and breeder mops are like, you can get a skein of yarn for like $3 and make tons of them. Okay, Laura says, do they have defects often, crooked backs or strange fins? Again, my experience is limited, but the ones that I've dealt with, I haven't had any problems with it. I had one fish that had like a little lump on her head, and it looked adorable, but I was like, obviously I can't sell that. I can't, put that in my breeding group. And so I put her in a tank and she jumped out. It was another one of the jumpers.
No, she's still in there.
No, that's Heidi that's in there, the one I got sick. Oh, Christopher, you should send me some. We've got water lettuce, but I could use some more Java moss. So let's see. Okay, let's see. No, yeah, Laura, sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. No, I haven't personally seen any problem really with defects. I don't think it's a lot of killies are wild caught, and even the ones that aren't wild caught, heck yeah, Dan, I'll take the moss, definitely. Even the ones that aren't wild caught they're really careful about mixing, hybridizing, and so they're pretty, I don't want to say direct lines, but they're pretty close to being straight lines from the wild caught ones.
They're mostly natural.
The ones that I've got are P82 lines. See, even in their names, they have the scientific name and then they have their location or their discoverer, and that's at the end of their name. And that tells you where they came from or who brought them in, that kind of thing. Mine are lineage P82, which basically means it's they're not sure. They don't have the information to see where those came from or to trace them back. They could have come from anywhere, any of the lines. So that's the ones I have right now. But I don't know, I think they're really pretty. But they do that to keep people from hybridizing too much. And they only want you to cross lines if you're trying to get rid of a birth defect, or if you're trying to strengthen some traits or something like that. It's just, it's not something they really want you to do. But that's, I know, that's not uncommon. Look, Rosie, there's Fook.
Sleepy little Fook.
He woke up just to say hi to you. Just to say hi to you. Fook is gone. Okay, Fook's going back to bed now. No, I'm not doing Fook's voice right now. Anyway, I think that's, anyway. So does anybody want to hear the process or hear about how I was doing breeding them and anything like that? Any particular questions about me in particular with my experience with them?
Should I grab the eggs?
Yeah, that would be a good idea, actually. It doesn't matter, just one of the ones in the containers.
I'll grab one.
It doesn't matter. We're not hatching them anymore.
I know, I want them.
Okay, she'll get them here eventually. I will tell you, when they are born, they are microscopic, it seems like. I can't, it takes me a couple of days to even be able to register that I'm seeing them. They're just so small.
Let me see if this has any seeable.
Okay, so as far as hatching and spawning and all that jazz, I set up a small tank. Right now I've got my trio in a 10-gallon over here, and I'll show it to you in a minute. Frankie's watching food videos. Anyway, I got them in the 10-gallon over here. I've got my rainbow fish in with them. That's only because we're trying to set up their tank. because we had cichlids move in to the rainbow fish tank, so we had to move them out. Anyway, so I put them in a tank and I try to make it as nice as possible, give them plenty of hides and stuff. But again, you don't want a lot of plants in there. You want them to spawn on the spawning mop, because if not, you can't take them out. So I put mops hanging up. I put them on, why can I not think? Suction cups. Yes, that's the word. Suction cups. I put them on suction cups. I'll get it one of these days. And hang them up. And then I'll also put some on the ground because they like to go in them and through them and all that. And then about once every 3 days to a week, depending on how busy I get or lazy I get, I guess, I'll take the mops out and I'll check them for eggs. You don't want to keep them in there too long because they will eat their own eggs easily. They don't have single problem doing that. Gabriel says, have I been able to breed them successfully? Well, I've got 3 or 4 batches that I have. One batch that I've matured and is actually now breeding themselves, spawning themselves. And then I've got this group back here in the little 5-gallon tank, and they're literally like half an inch big. I mean, well, that's probably not different, but they're probably around half an inch big. Then I've got the ones that I made a video of night before last, and those are still seriously small. But I've got one that I've raised to maturity, one group that I've raised to maturity and they're spawning now. So I would consider that successful. But now I guess it just depends on what you would consider successful. And let's see. Christopher says, Blue Galaris can eat brine shrimp day 1. I feed my teeny babies powdered bug buffet. I love raising fish with it. Yeah, that is a good food. I feed, believe it or not, I feed rapacio powder a lot. I also have a fry and small fish food from some random no-name company. And I also culture my own vinegar eels. As you probably know, I was culturing microworms, but I forgot about my cultures, forgot to split them when they needed to be split, and they all died. So I got to try those again. But they were successful until I forgot about them. Anyway, and let's see. Jeff says definitely successful. All right, I'll take that. Take that for sure. But okay, chill. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you guys right here. This, it can be any container, but I just use these because they were free. So, but in this is coconut core, coconut fiber. You can also use peat moss. You can use, well, I guess that's it, coconut core and peat moss. I'm sure there's other things, but I use this. I have tried, okay, put them in there, you spawn them, you let them spawn, you get the mops out, you pick the eggs out. There's 2 ways you can go about it. You can either spawn them, these kind anyway, the semi-annuals, you can either spawn them in the water, in which case most people will either put them in tubs and with the little methylene blue and, you know, that sort of thing. Or some people just throw the whole mop into a small 5-10 gallon tank and let them hatch that way. I very meticulously did the best I could, tried and tried and tried. I did like 8 to 10 batches that I tried because I thought the whole dry method sounded too extreme. They sounded way too complicated. I just was not ready for that. So I did about 8 or 10 different batches, like over the course of, you know, I told you I check the spawning mop every, 3-4 days to a week, depending on how things go. So that ought to tell you if it was 8 to 10 batches, several weeks. So months. So I tried that and could not get it, even with methylene blue, without methylene blue. It didn't matter what I said or what I did. They just all fungused or disappeared, like they were not in the water anymore. I don't know what that was about. And nothing else was in there, so nothing ate them. Tell Katie Rose thank you, and she is too. But then I finally got so frustrated. I was losing all these eggs because my original pair was spawning anywhere from 50 to 100 eggs every 3 days, if not more. I mean, I think there was one time I went 4 days and I had 150, almost 200 eggs. So, I mean, that was just my original pair. So that just, oh, Christopher, how can you ask me that? I want all the killies. I want all the killies. What are you talking about, man? It's not, okay, it's not something I would actively go looking for, but if some wound up on my doorstep, I wouldn't send them away. No, Golden Wonders. They are beautiful. I'm not sure if they are those semi-annuals, annuals, or non-annuals, Christopher. I can't remember. I haven't really done a lot of looking into Golden Wonders, but they're gorgeous. What was I saying? Oh, we were talking about the hatching. Okay. Well, actually, more precisely, incubating. So, what I do, since I got tired of it always getting fungus or then just getting nowhere with it after weeks and weeks and weeks. So I went ahead and decided I would start doing I call it the dry method. It's not really that dry though, really, just drier than just plunking them in water. So what I do is I take coconut fiber, which from what I understand is much more sustainable, easy to get, environmentally friendly, blah, 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 than peat is. But peat is the go-to that most people use for breeding spawn, peat spawners, peat spawning, well, it's in the name. There are some that actually they spawn in the peat. You have to put a dish of peat or coconut core in the tank with the hole in the lid, and they'll dive in and they'll spawn in the peat. But mine luckily do fine with the breeder mock, because I don't even know if I would be able to do all that. But so you remove the breeder mock, you bring it out. I drain it, like I squeeze it out real good. As long as you're not like hammering it, the eggs will be fine. And then I wet down some coconut fibers and I spread a little layer on the bottom like that. You don't have to have a ton. I mean, you really don't need a lot. So, and then you take and you pick the eggs out and you put them in the damp, not wringing wet, not dry, damp coconut core or peat. And then you let them sit. And the incubation time depends, because they can incubate faster, in the water. But I think it's like with the Gardneri and the Australia, I think it's like 2 to 4 weeks faster if they hatch in the water. But I generally leave mine sitting in a dark, warmish place, not super warm, just like room temperature place. I've got them in a drawer of a dresser, but apparently from what I've read, they can be light sensitive. So you want to keep them in a darker place if you can. But anyway, then I let these incubate for about 2 months. Now, when you take them out, you need a light and you need a magnifying glass, something to magnify them, because if not, you're not going to see these eggs. If you can, you've got way better eyesight than I do, which I guess that's not saying much considering I wear contacts and I'm still blind. But yeah, they're super tiny, and especially once you've got them in the coconut fiber or the peat, can be a little difficult to find. So get you a magnifying glass or something, and get you some tweezers or something small, and find an egg after this incubation period. And when you find the egg, look for a little black dot. That is what we call eyed up. That means there has been development and your fishies are ready to hatch. What I usually do from there is I've done this a few ways too. I started by, first you just get a container. I get one of those plastic shoebox size containers. And I just do it like I would normally any other ones. I put the eggs in, but I dump the whole thing, peat or coconut fiber, all that, and flood them. That's what it's called, flooding them. And you put enough water, probably about an inch or two above max, an inch at least to max above the coconut fiber, and you let them sit. And usually if you let them incubate long enough, they should hatch pretty quickly. Like I think I had some hatch within 2 hours of flooding them, but then I leave mine for about 3 days to make sure that I'm not missing any. And then what I do is I let them incubate in there, float them in a tank so that way it keeps them warm. And then I take my squidgy. You guys remember my squidgy? I take my little squidgy and I suck them very gently out, and I'll put them into another container, either another container floating with a little air stone, or I don't like to move them very much. I like that one movement to be as little as possible, because when I was doing it, I was transferring them from their hatching container to another container to grow up a little more, and then another container to grow up a little more. And it just felt like there was an ongoing thing. And I always lost some babies during the move. You know, something always happened that it cut my survival rate down. So I have started getting small 5-gallon tanks, fill them up 2 inches or so with water, just enough to cover the tiny sponge filter, and throw in some breeder mops for cover. And then I put them straight in there from their hatching container. That way I'm not moving them. I'm not messing with moving them all the time. I'm not losing extra fish. It just seems to work out better that way. But a lot of people will just put them into a small container, because they can literally live in like a shoebox for a month or two, you know, because they're so tiny. They're not very big to begin with. I think the smallest one, I believe, is like 1.5 inches. The smallest killifish is like 1.5 inches, and the biggest is 6 inches. So yeah, but these tend to be around 2 to 3 inches, I want to say. So they don't get very big, and they mature really quickly. These guys that are spawning over here started spawning at 3 months old. So yeah, they mature pretty quickly, but of course that goes along with the shorter lifespan. I'm trying to think of something, anything I might have left out. Oh, feeding them, yes, like Christopher was saying earlier, they can eat baby brine shrimp. I feed mine vinegar eels, microworms, and the parents, that's another thing a lot of people think. They think that killifish are hard to feed, that they won't take to flake food. These guys are hungry all the time. Once they figured out something is food, it goes in their mouth. I mean, they're like toddlers. They'll put anything in their mouth. They don't care, and they are always hungry. And it's so adorable, because my Gardner pair or trio that's over here, when they see me come up to the tank now, they go straight to the top. Every time I lift the lid, they're at the top and they're begging for food. I swear they act like I never feed them. But yeah, so they're actually pretty personable, and they're very brave fish. Like they'll run and hide for a minute, but then they're peeking out, and they're always wanting to be part of the scene. They always want to know what's going on. So they're not shy fish by any means. Let's see. Okay, I'm running out of ideas here. What have I missed? What do you guys want to know? We gotta see where everybody's knowledge lies. I don't know. Anybody got any specific questions? Did I forget to go over anything? I better put the squidgy down. Let's see. Oh, you want to see my tanks? My killie tanks. We can do my killie tanks. I can show you. I need to go around and show you those. How about that? All right. Let me get you brought up on my phone. I gotta figure this out. Okay. Video. All right, we're gonna mute this. Hold on, be prepared, guys. Let's do that. I gotta. Yeah, shut up. I don't know how to make this where it doesn't echo. Okay, let's do something different. Anybody know how to use StreamYard? Okay, let's just turn this down this way. Down. Okay. I guess that's all I'm getting. All right. Go. That didn't work out well. I just totally exited out of all that I just did. Okay. Mute. Studio. And then we're going to turn this around. There it goes. That's all it. I'm going to mute me for a minute, guys. Okay, can you hear me now? The whole point of that is that, okay, that is our garden eye tank. It's got my rainbow fish in it now, but it's for my 3 garden eye killifish. The male is Myth. The 2 females are Magic and Mirage. And those are the ones that I raised. I hatched and raised them. So yeah, I know, Dan, I'm sorry. I couldn't figure out how to stop it. So yeah, we hatched those and raised them. They were from my original pair, but that is their tank. That's a 10-gallon they're sharing right now with my rainbow fish. So, and then let's go to the next one, Anita. Well, we weren't going to show them that messy one. That's where I'm putting my my extra juveniles that I'm going to sell. They're in there, but they're hiding. I don't know what their deal is. I just told you that they don't generally hide, but you know, apparently they're going to. Let's see. Okay, and then this is not working how I want it to. Hold on, I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, there we go. That is our bear, and he is an orange Australe, or known as Abyssinian Australe. Christopher. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's Dream. Sorry, I wasn't looking. Sorry. Anyway, the females are Dream and Desire, and the boy is Dare. And they're very similar, like in raising and all that jazz, as the Gardener Eye are. I actually haven't had any problem with them. Now, the male did jump out, and we all saw that video, so that was fun. But yeah, so let's see. Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot I put that on there. Gabriel, are you hey J Rock? Let's see. And we'll take this out. No, not showing the cichlids right now. Here we go. All right, we are going to turn that, just exit out of that. Okay, I think we've got that taken care of. I was talking to Golden Trail, but I'm not paying child support. I don't know. I might come with my hand out, Christopher. These things are expensive. Okay, let's see. Did I miss anything? Sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that, guys. I'm still trying to figure out how to work this thing, and it's not doing what I want, the way I want it to. Okay. All right, so you see my tanks, my 2. Oh, thanks, Gabriel. Nice tanks. I really wish I had more money to put into plants and making them nice and cute and all that, but they're fine with it. I mean, they like playing in and out of the breeders' moths, and they love their little caves that they go into that we made from the rocks we found around here. So, I mean, it seems to work. Okay. Hey, Cecil. Anybody have anything else particular they want to that they want to ask me about them? Okay, so the tanks, we got the tanks. If my living room was not an absolute wreck, I would show you. I have the best living room. I'm serious. Tanks from all the way around. Okay, Rosie says, how many kinds of known killifish are there? Rosie, that is a good question. There are so many. There's over, I believe it was 1,270 last count, I guess. Many of them are really like close to extinction, and then a lot of them some of them are not, they're super common, you can find them anywhere, but it's just, there are a lot. There's even brackish water and marine killifish, from what I understand. I don't know anything about those, but there are some killifish that do better with a little salt. So okay, let me see what these, oh, anyway, yeah, that's what we do with this. And we've got, and I always label mine because I want to know what generation they are, when they need to hatch, when I collected them, and which eggs they are. I also try to get a good count when I pick them out of the mop, and get a decent count and write that down too. So hold on, somebody asked a question. Okay, what are the smallest killifish? That is a good question. 1 second. Let me look. I'm going to the AKA website.
I know the biggest killifish.
The biggest killifish
is the Gulf killifish.
Yep. Let's see. Dude, just go. Smallest killifish seems to be the least killifish. What was I thinking? Was it called a killifish? That's not a killifish, though. It's not a real killifish. Okay, I'm going to go back to the. Ignore that. It's not least killifish, because least killifish aren't actually killifish. Let's go see what the aka.org says about it. I bet this is really exciting for you, watching me look stuff up, huh? I wasn't really sure what everybody. Is most of the killifish the biggest? Yeah, you would think so, right? Christopher, I thought least killifish weren't actually killifish. Where did I read that at? What am I thinking of? There's something that I'm thinking of then. Bull minnows, Christopher says. See, Christopher should be doing this live, because he knows a lot more than I do. Which is not saying much. I've only been like in killies for like 6 to 8 months, something like that. Maybe more. It seems like it hasn't been that long. But let's see. I am trying to see if I can find some information on the biggest now. Okay, no, I'm not going to do this right now. Okay. So the biggest killifish is the Gulf. She said it. Anyway, you heard it. And Christopher says bull minnows. That's what he calls them, in bull minnows. They are the biggest. And so Mousy Files, least killifish are formosas. So they're not actual killifish then. Because from what I understood, everything I read was that all killifish, all true killifish, are oviparous. They're all egg bearers, not leg bearers. And least killifish, from what I understand, are live bearers. And I had read some stuff that they're not actual killifish. So least killifish are actually the smallest live bearers, not killifish. That's what I was thinking of. Okay, so I don't know. Let's see if we can find what is the second smallest killifish, because this search keeps bringing up least killifish, which really kind of pissed me off a little bit. Okay, it's still saying least killifish. See, it's not. It says, despite the common name, it is not a killifish. This is really annoying. Anyway, yes, Rosie, they are live bears. Hi, Aquarium Fantasy. What tiny fish did you see yesterday? Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Let's see. I'm not finding anything, guys. I'm trying to look, but they keep bringing up least killifish, but least killifish are not killifish. So yeah, this is not going to work. They are not our friends. The search engines are not our friends today. So look up. Yeah, I don't know where they got the name either, Mousy. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't know, but people like the black tiger Dario. It's both. They call it Dario or Batis. And then there's one I'm trying to think of. I can't remember what it is. They call like all these fish. They cross reference them. It's really ridiculous. So no, Rosie, endlers are not the smallest live bearers. So well, tell your buddy to come on, Mousy. I did look up the second smallest, Dan, and all it keeps bringing up is least killifish are the smallest killids in the world, which ticks me off for two reasons. For one, I said the second smallest. Two, they're not really freaking killifish. Anyway, so I tried that. It didn't work. We'll see. Okay, let's see. We've got more. Oh yeah, most of them are around 1 to 2 inches, like I was telling you before, but the biggest are around 6. The Bundalo Panchex, I think it's Jogetti. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But that's what somebody told me it's pronounced like. Those, I believe, can get 4 to 6 inches. Unless I'm thinking of something else. But I've read so much stuff about killifish, and I can't believe I'm forgetting it all. But yeah. Oh yeah, that's another one. Danios. Everybody like calls Rasboras Danios and stuff. So yeah, you're right, Dan. Okay, let's see. They are fresh or brackish water. They live about 2 to 3 years on average. There's this one called Devil's Hole Pupfish. It lives in the Devil's Hole Cavern, which is 299 feet deep. So that is some hardy fish right there. The shortest living vertebrate in captivity lives 3 to 9 months. That's an African turquoise killifish. That's a good one. Let's see. Oh, another thing, they're used in testing because they have been found resistant, like they've developed a resistance to heavy like toxicity and things like mercury and pollutions and stuff that in previously thought of lethal doses don't affect them at all. Like it does nothing to them. So they're using different, which I find kind of, I don't like that, but what are you going to do? Let's see. So yeah, they can handle those things like that. So, and as I already said, the males tend to be more fancy, more flashy. That's the word I'm looking for than the females. Everybody thinks they're so much prettier that, you know, they're gorgeous because they got these yellow stripes and these pink dots and da-da-da. I think the females that I've got, well, you saw the orange one. She just looked like this. She looks like a creamsicle, just like all this light orange, and she's really pretty. So, and then the garden rye ones, they have the same, like a creamy pink color look to them, and then they get these little red dots on them, even if they're female. So I think they're gorgeous. Mousy Rosie lives in Ireland, so she would love that. I tried to send her some of my eggs for my garden rye, and it went well. Went through customs, all was good. She paid for the shipping, you know, which was good because yeah, that shipping was not cheap. And got through there, got to her post office, and then they confiscated them. And what they told us was that they should have been marked and sent properly as a live animal. And now that I didn't do that, they were going to destroy them. So they wanted me to mark them as a live animal, but because I didn't, they're treating them like they're not live animals, and they destroyed them. I mean, like, they could have sent them back to me. What the hell? But yeah, I just thought that was really interesting, the fact that the customs would destroy a living, well, soon to be living creature because I didn't label it right. we'll see. We'll see. Or, go through that yourself. We'll see what happens. But anyway, so, okay, next question. We got to keep this rolling, people. Got to go, go, go. Just kidding. Oh my God, it's almost been an hour already. Okay, that wasn't too bad. So let's see. Yeah, Rosie was not happy by any means. She was not. We were both so upset. But the worst part was that we didn't get any kind of notification. It was just like, it said that they had been delivered. And then she looks outside and they weren't there. So she called, and that's how she found out. And it even said cleared customs in my notifications. They had cleared customs and everything. They waited till they got all the way to Rosie's post office, and they took them there, like the cops or something showed and took them. I'm like, that's really ridiculous. Okay, Mel, that's a good question. What all kinds of killies do you have right now, and what's next on the list? Okay, so far right now, I only have two. I have Gardner, the Fundalo Panchex Gardneri, and then the P82, and then I have the Golden Australe, or Athysimian Australe. Those are the ones I'm getting. I wasn't actually planning on getting either of those when I got them, but I was looking for a new breeding project when I discovered the Killies, my Gardneri. And then I was looking for probably another pair of Gardneri to add to mine, and I found the Australes. So I got those instead. Now my next, okay, Christopher knows this already, and we're working on this. My next purchase, I guess, for killifish, is going to be hopefully the blue Galeris. Also, I cannot speak for the life of me today. Also known as the Fundalo Panchex Jogetti. I don't know if that's right or not. Let's see. And then, there's another one that I'm having trouble finding anywhere. Like, there's only one person that I've seen that has them anywhere, and he was like in Vietnam. That is the Chromo Aphysimian, I think is what it's called. Volcano. And that was one of those volcano killifish I was telling you about. So, yeah, I really want one of those, but I haven't been able to find them around anywhere, so I'm not really sure that I'll be able to find them. So what? Not right now. Let's see. And then, yes, Mel, I am glad I caught the killie bug. I mean, sort of glad, because now, there's just one more thing, It's just one more thing to be wanting. I want all the fish. I want all the effing fish. Now, I already found some Galeris, just waiting on some eggs now. Yep, I got to hook up. I would not mind having, who's Lucas, Aquarium Fantasy? I hardly know anybody's names. I barely know your screen names because I'm really, really bad about remembering names. Yes, see, here, dun, 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 I'll show you all. And he said it there, it's a written contract. He's got to now. It's the proof, it's recorded. You're out of luck, Christopher, they're mine. No, yeah, so Christopher's going to be hooking me up with some, and he's amazing. So, and his, yes, I do need more Pandagaras, Mel, but yeah, I do, but those things are $20-something a piece. So anyway, so I definitely need more Pandagaras for sure. So, yes, I know who you are, Rosie. I talk to you freaking 10 times a day. Okay, so next. Mel, I'm just special. That's why people want to, hook me up with stuff because I'm poor and I'm broke. Homes for the poor. I'm just kidding. No, it's just like that's one thing I've loved about this fish community. Ever since I got into fish, it's like, well, you get some that are jerks, little assholes, but then you've got most people like Christopher who want to just spread the love for killies or fish or whatever. And, Dan, he, wants to share with his members and stuff like that too. And, you know, you get people that care and they want to share what they, I don't want to say share the wealth because it's not like anybody's really wealthy, but I mean, they want to share and pass on that love and that, you know, desire to other people. So that way other people be, you know, get the payoff too. And I just think that's really good. So rowing along in the boat with you. Okay, so what are we doing next? Oh, you gotta feed the fry. Okay, this one's really easy. I have a container and it's got here. It's got my vinegar eels in it. And I just use my squidgy, my little squidgy. I'll suck those up and put a little over here for these babies and a few over here for these babies. Oh, that wasn't a lot. Here, give them the rest. But the vinegar eels have really been my saving grace because especially they cost like almost nothing to culture. And it really helps to have them, especially not only are they better for the babies and they make them mature and grow faster and give them a lot of, you know, help with the growth. But it's cheaper than buying fry food all the time because they replicate and all you need is a bottle, some apple, and some apple cider vinegar. So and there you go. And you've got an like almost unlimited supply of fry food. You should see these. I've got a 2-liter bottle and it is so full of them. I have literally fed out of them 6 times in the last 3 days, or 7, maybe more out of the last 3 days, feeding some of my adults too, because my grown killifish like them and my rainbow fish like them. And okay. And so I've been feeding them to them just to get the population down because I was afraid that if the population got too full in my vinegar eel cultures, that it would crash, which they haven't so far. I've got 4 bottles of them and I'm happy to share if somebody wants them. Okay, so, all right. What is, I don't know, what kind of things do you, this is going so well, can you tell? I'm trying to think of how to word it. What kind of, well, I guess it's just a matter of what questions you have because that would be the easiest way to put it. Is there anything that I've said that has made you interested in killifish? Do you have any killifish that you know that you've already seen that you like? If so, which ones have you seen? I am going to see if I can pull up pictures of the volcano that I was telling you about and see if I can do that. No promises because I don't yet know how to work this StreamYard thing, but we will see if we can see if we can do that. Let me go to StreamYard and maybe I need to mute this real quick. I'm going to turn my screen down. Turn my. All right, let's say video.
No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that yet.
Okay, and I don't know how to do this. Does anybody know how to add pictures? This is not going like I wanted. I swear you guys, I did so much preparation. Like I've been watching killifish videos and reading killifish articles, and I even was watching videos on how to work StreamYard, and now I've forgotten every damn bit of it. Okay, Mel says she wants a red chin panchex, and she has 1 male and 1 female golden wonder and a baby. Oh, nice. And more. Hash out. Okay. Let's show what Mel says here. All right. I think I need to figure this out. I'm doing stuff. I don't even know what I'm doing. All right. Let me see if I can get a picture. No, that is not what I wanted to do. This is so confusing. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, it really is. I don't know how to. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I guess that's for another thing. Oh, maybe we can just pull it up and show you. How about that? Okay. Okay, here is a picture of a chromoapicemian volcano. And if you don't know what that is the volcano killifish. And apparently they live in volcanic waters and stuff. So yeah, thanks, Mel. Okay, Rosie, what's your question? This is really not a good time for this. Anyway, okay, so Rosie has a question. What's your question, Rose? Rose, the girl. And I appreciate the support, Mel. I'm not like, once I learn something, once I learn a certain technological aspect of whatever, I can usually roll with it and get it down. But oh, what's my favorite killifish and why? Okay, so my favorite killifish so far would have to be the Georgetti, the blue galaris. It is beautiful, and I'm telling you, okay, let me see if I can find another picture. Find a picture of the galaris now, because when you see this, you'll know exactly. If you know me at all, you will know exactly why it's one of my favorite killifish. No, hold on. You see that? That is the purple. The purple. Okay, see you, Dan. See you soon. Okay, Thunderlow Panchex phalanx. Okay, I don't know. They are galaris-like. Okay, that's Christopher. I got stop signs, Gabriel. I totally didn't see any of them. Not a single one. Where'd they go? I'm all looking back for stop signs. I don't see any. I don't know. Maybe they're not showing them on my screen or something, but I didn't see any. Okay, so let me look and see if I can look that up. Right, Dan. Let me tell you something. If Walmart paid me, then yeah, for everything that I got there, or for all the shopping I did there. Oh no, I see it. See the stop sign. Okay, what are they? Hello, Panchex. Alex. Let's look that up. Let's see what we got. I would like to see what they are too. Alex. Oh, those are gorgeous. What are you're just totally holding out on me, aren't you? Let me see if I can get this bigger. Show everybody. Okay, this is what Christopher's talking about. His fish that he's really enjoying. Excuse the shakiness, guys. They do look very galaris-like, Christopher. Maybe you should send me some of those. Yes, I know Gabriel uses the little green man for a stop sign. For the longest time, I thought it was a freaking cactus. I thought it was a cactus. So, okay. Let's see. And for those of you who don't know what a golden wonder is, here, let me look that up for you, and I'll show you what Mel's look like. Okay. These, I can't get the cam angle right. These are golden wonders. Excuse the shaky hands. I have carpal tunnel hands, and my hands are all messed up, so they don't do well. Rosie says she's gotta have to go off YouTube. All right, Rosie, that's cool. No worries. And Mel's oh shoot, I still got the comment up. Thank you, Rosie. He has more red in the fins. Yeah, probably they vary, like their coloration will vary and their markings will vary, of course, between fish, as is typical. So okay, so anybody else have any curiosities about other killifish, or let's see. I use a heater, but that's because my room temperature tanks get down to like 60 to 65 degrees because this woman does not like the heat. I do not like it. No. I can't handle it, honestly. I had a like heat stroke or heat heat something. Anyway, where I passed out from the heat and it messed up my internal thermometer or whatever you call. So now it starts getting around 70 and I'm starting like I sweat and I just can't handle it. Plus I'm getting old. So it's part of it too. So yeah, I use a heater for the simple fact that they may be able to occasionally handle temperatures that low, but it's really not, it's not good for them. So I keep a heater in there to make sure that they have a steady, decent temperature that they can handle. Mel wants the wild type of golden wonder. The striped pancake. Oh, I knew. Yes, I saw that. I saw a picture of those. Let me see if I can get that up. We're going to spend this whole time with me Googling stuff and and showing you guys pictures that you could have looked up yourself. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. I'm just joking. We'll do something else. Striped pancakes. Okay. It looks a lot like the golden wonder. Okay. But a little more. Come on. It will eventually. Oh, there he is. That is the striped pancakes. Okay, so, man, this is going great. All right, see you, Rosie. Tell Frankie good night for me. Okay, anybody else have any specific questions, or do you want to just talk about whatever? I mean, it doesn't have to be about killifish. I just knew that a few of you had said that you wanted to talk about killifish. And me not being an expert, can't exactly give you the in-depth talk and, that I'd love to, but I'm happy to. Thank you, Aquarium Fantasy. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. If I don't know, I'll tell you. I mean, like, I'm not going to like telling you I don't know, of course, because I'm supposed to know everything, But no, I'm happy to tell you guys if you have any specific questions. And if I don't know, I'll let you know. Maybe we can look it up or, see how that goes. But again, the aka.org, especially if you're a member, has lots and lots and lots of good resources for people who are interested or who are into killifish. I actually, what all am I keeping? Do you mean just killifish or do you mean all that I'm keeping? Because that is a different thing. Okay, we're going to go around the room. Okay, my new acquisition over here in my 48-gallon is the fairy cichlids, and don't remember their scientific name. It's like Burchardi or something like that is their last of their scientific name. And then in my 75, newly set up 75, where the 125 we're supposed to go. My heart's still broken. I have 2 electric fluorocars, like 70,000 albino corridors, and a bristlenose pleco. So, and then I've got the Australs and a pleco in that 20-gallon. In the 55 over here, Sid's tank, my Sid Vicious. I have, of course, Sid, I have my pleco, and I have my albino cories, but I also have glass cats. And then I also have tetras, like I have skirt tetras and I have Colombian tetras. I have false Julie, Corridoras, queen loaches, abetta, white cloud mountain minnows, hill stream loaches, rice fish. I'm almost there. Harlequin ragsboras, clown plecos, a diamond epistogramma, which I'm not really sure. I had never seen those before until I got Sticks. And he had been in the shop for over 2 years and nobody wanted him because he wasn't flashy and bright and da-da-da. But he's this silvery, beautiful color, has a black stripe on him. Plus he's got this hilarious, we have those watering spikes that you use for pleco caves. I had one in there because I had the clown plecos in there. And before I took it, I was going to take it out and take it to the tank where I put the clown plecos in. And he darted in it. well, he's kind of claimed that as his own cave. And he'll peek out. He's really shy. He'll peek out and he'll come play around. But then when he thinks somebody's looking, he darts back in that cave. Well, he'll inch up real slow and peek out just a little bit at a time, and a little more until he comes out. He thinks you're not. If he thinks you're looking, he doesn't just jerk back. He doesn't dart back like most fish. He just kind of like fades backwards. That's why we name him Sticks, because you forget he's there. So, but yeah, and then I've got the clown plecos. Oh, and the Corydoras fibrosus, which I think they've changed names now. I think it's like fibrosum or something like that. Anyway, I'll have to look that up too. Okay, and Aquarium Fantasy wants to know about all kinds of rainbow fish. This one kind of makes me sad, but not so sad. I mean, it makes me sad that I don't have what I want, because that's the thing. I only have one type of rainbow fish right now, and that is my Kali. Oh, I forgot. How do I forget to mention that when you asked what all I had? I have my Kalitawa rainbow fish. Love them. They're gorgeous, and they're so easy to get, to deal with. They're not hard to take care of, and they're cool little fish. I really love them. So, yeah, they were actually in the killifish tank. That's what was in the killifish tank. It's my Kalitawas. Okay, we are almost at an hour and a half. Are you guys thinking we should stay a little longer? Do you guys have more questions? What's going on? Or we can, just wrap it up if you guys don't have any more questions or anything. I'm sorry if I wasn't extremely informative. I promise you I did do a lot of research, but it just didn't stick, apparently. So, but yeah, if you guys have more you want to talk about or whatever, I'm happy to stick around. Oh, Bob's got to go. Pizza's ready. Oh, where's my pizza? I need some pizza. No, I don't. I just have macaroni and cheese. That's enough. Bye, vibes. Okay, so I'm happy to keep talking, Aquarium, because I can talk all day. I've got a mouth on me, and it never knows when to shut up, especially when I'm nervous. The problem is topics. So, yeah. That is it. So what do you guys want to talk about? What do you want? I'm the all-knowing, so I'm the one with the camera, so I must know everything, right? I'm just kidding. So, okay, so somebody throw something out there if you guys want to keep going. It's like my brain is cotton right now. Like, seriously, it's all I can do just to remember my name. Yeah, I remember. Wow, everybody's just kind of quiet. Okay. All right. Well, I guess if nobody has anything else to say. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Oh, I did not. Oh, eggs. That's a good one. Aquarium Fantasy. Speaking of egg scattering fish and how to get the eggs. Okay. So that's one thing with these guys. They're egg scatterers as well. I like to put breeder mops in, but some people use peat for these guys. But with pretty much any egg scatterer, they find a spawning point, they breed, and then they scatter their stuff, their eggs everywhere. So I like to put a spawning mop in because and not put a lot of plants and other plants and stuff in there. Otherwise, you're going to end up them spawning in multiple places, and you want them to spawn on the mop. So you limit what they have to spawn on. You don't put a bunch of plants in there. You just leave the spawning mop in there. Some like to spawn on things laying on the ground. Some like to spawn inside things that are hanging up. So I do both because it just depends on the fish really. And I like to wrap mine around some, I can't think of them, suction cups. There they are. And stick those on the glass and have it hang. And then they'll go in, they'll do their little breeding thing, and they'll swim in and out of it, and they'll just scatter their eggs all over. And the yarn from the breeder mop catches the eggs. Then it's a simple matter of just pulling them out of the tank, and squeezing the water off, and then just picking them out. Or you can, like I said before, you can throw them in another tank so they can incubate and hatch out in that tank by themselves. Alternatively, if you want a decently planted tank, but you don't want the parents to eat the eggs, you can always leave them in the tank, and the nice planted tank or whatever. Give them a chance to spawn, however long it's going to take them. I would probably give these guys, just to make sure that you had enough eggs and enough fry to hatch, probably a week or so, to make sure they spawn everything, and really just watch for spawning behavior. And then you can take the parents out, and then you've got all the eggs in there already waiting to hatch. But a lot of people are more hands-on with it. With me, like I said, I don't like moving fish too much. I prefer to move the eggs because it's a lot less stressful. It's a lot less stressful on the fish if I'm not moving the fish all the time. So I just do it the easy way. I hang up and drop it. I hang up those spawning mobs, drop one on the ground, on the bottom of the tank, and let them spawn in it. And then I take them out, take out the breeder mob and check them. And then I artificially raise the fry. So, but yeah, did that answer your question? Or was there something I missed? Which is possibility, quite the possibility today. And no problem, Mel, we get you. We know you're there. Okay. So I guess that seems to be it. I mean, I've got a whole 9 people in here though. That's exciting. How are you guys doing today? Like, what is your favorite fish? What is your favorite fish? That's what I want to know. Tell me your favorite fish and I will show everybody. And we'll talk about that. How about that? Since when are you guys so damn quiet? Come on. You guys talk more than I do. And I'm the one with the camera. Come on now. All right. Okay. Rainbow fish love scattering their eggs into the water current. Yeah, that is true. Which I don't have a lot of experience with rainbow fish yet, but I do have 2 males and 2 female Kalitawas. So I'm hoping when I had them in the 48 by themselves before I evicted them to put the cichlids in, I had a spawning mop. I had a couple of breeder mops down there. So I've got them out sitting in a bowl of water right now that if I can ever remember, I'm going to check through and see if I've got any eggs yet. That would be amazing. And yes, Gabriel, you can have more than one favorite. You can. I know I do. Because I can't choose between, Sid and Sid Vicious, my electric blue Acaras, and my killifish, and then even them, I can't choose between those. Or my Pandagaras, like Mel is saying. Yes, Pandagaras are awesome. They're so freaking cute. Dietrich, my Pandagara, he will knock any fish. He does not care. He's on the glass right now, and he just does this little thing. It's so adorable. Hey Jesse, no aquarium fantasy. I have never had bamboo shrimp, but I've actually wanted to. But my only thing is that they're filter feeders. They can't survive unless they've got a current stuff to put through, or so I've read. So I'm a little leery about getting them because although most of my tanks have pretty decent flow, I'm not sure it'd be enough to feed them. So Gabriel's favorites are, oh wow. Okay, let's see. Angels, Discus, Jack Dempsey's, and Plecos. Oh yeah, I forgot about my Plecos. No, I didn't get the junk drawer organized. It's never getting organized. That's the point of a junk drawer. It's a junk drawer. Do not organize junk drawers. Okay, so Cecil's favorites are his 2 common Plecos. They're a year old and 11 inches long. That's awesome. I was really considering getting one for my 120 or 125. I'm gonna cry every time I say that now. I wanted to get, because I know how mistreated they are in the industry, and well, out of the industry, because most people who get them don't even know what they are. And I thought it would be nice to be able to give one a good home. And I had the opportunity to get one when I got the glass cats, because they had one that was about 4 to 6 inches, something like that, And they were like, I don't know what it is. I was like, that is a common pleco. She said, will you take it? I was like, nope, not gonna take it. And she's like, why not? I said, because those things get freaking like 2 feet long sometimes, or 1 foot too long. I said, I don't have a place for them. I said, until I get my 125 up, and I don't know when that'll be. Apparently it'll be never. So yeah, common plecos are awesome. And I feel bad that they are not well taken care of. And they're like basically one of them and goldfish are two of the first things that people see when they come into the industry. So have I ever made green water? No, I haven't. Actually, I would like to, because I don't have Daphnia yet, but that is another thing I would like to culture. I'm culturing black worms, white worms, vinegar eels. I was culturing brine shrimp. I had a culture of brine shrimp, and those, they did so great too. Like I tried like 5 or 6 times and couldn't get them past this stage or that stage. And then I finally got some that grew up and they were doing great and they were thriving. And then a couple months later, when I started thinking there was enough to harvest from, walked in there all day. Don't know why, no clue. But yeah, so I thought about doing Daphnia. So green water would be fantastic for Daphnia. I need to learn how to do that. So, Jesse, favorite fish is the $1,500 Asian Doritos Pseudotropius locos. Asian Doritos. Yeah, but the $1,500 thing is what's making me go. Yeah, I have a, oh my goodness, I have a hard time even, the fact that the most I've ever spent on a fish is when I bought the damn Pandagara, and it was $22. Before that, I had only bought my electric blue cars, and I actually got them for $5 a piece. I got 4 of them for $20. And then I got the pairs of killifish for $25. So they weren't that bad. And then let's see, my albino corridoras I got for about $30 for 6 of them, I think it was, somewhere around there. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones I've bought. My cars, my killies, I bought the Kalitawas, of course, but I got those for I got 7 of them for like $28 or $32. I can't remember which. 3 of them died when I brought them home. I'm not really sure what happened with that, but the other 4 are doing great. And then I bought some Green Dragon Grismos plecos, and I got them for, I believe it was a pair for around $25. So $900 on guppies. Oh my goodness, how many guppies did you get for that? I mean, to me, that would be like, that better be a lot of damn guppies. Or some really, really nice ones that I can make a lot of money off of. So let's see. Jesse says the same thing. $900 on some guppies. I don't know. I'm maybe a little prejudiced against guppies or whatever. I don't know. I have always just been like, nah, when it comes to guppies. Watch the dog. Sorry. The door was open, and the dog is not nice well, he's nice, but he scares the crap out of people. But 2 plecos that were supposed to be snowball, neither one was a snowball. Aw. What kind were they, Christopher? Because snowball plecos are really pretty. And that's really sad. I can't stand when people put them, don't take care of their animals. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying because the whole dog situation. Spending the money. The most I've spent was on the Pandagara, unless I'm forgetting something. Everything else has been under, in the mid-teens at the most for each fish. So with the killies, they were $25 for a pair, so $12.50 each, something like that. No clue. Big yellow, little yellow spots and big yellow spots. Well, the only ones I know with spots, yellow spots, are gold nuggets or whatever they're called. I don't even know the numbers for them. But spent $50 on one fish, most ever spent. What was that fish, Salient, Jesse? That's what we should do. Everybody tell our most expensive fish and tell what it is. And I'll put them up there and show everybody. Oh my God. Okay. On one single fish. That's it. That's the thing. One single fish. You know, if you had bought a group of fish for a certain price, then split them up. Oh, now you got to say it. No, we're not. We are not letting you go without telling us. I definitely want to hear the embarrassing story. You got screwed, but you needed and wanted it, and that's the other ones that had it. Okay, come on. It's like pulling teeth here to get this story out of you. And make you be a guest on my live and watch everybody watch while I grill you. Oh, that's not it. Negate that sentence. Okay, the most that you paid, the most expensive. Okay, Gabriel says the most we paid or the most expensive we have kept. There's a difference. That is very true. So the most that you paid. Okay. Mel says 30 on a Pandagara and 60 on a pair of Killies from Dan's Fish. Yeah, I would love to buy from Dan's Fish, but I really don't have the budget for that. Christopher says, let's see, 4 blue Matoros. I don't really know what those are. Stingrays in 2001 for 2,000. Oh my God. I wish yeah. Also bought an 18-inch black piranha from Peru for $800. There are lots more. Oh, good point, Laura. I'll make him come on here and tell us his embarrassing story. Okay, Aquarium Fantasy says the most expensive one single fish was the punk sakura crayfish. When they first came out, I spent $120 for this one. Oh my God, I could buy groceries. Oh, yeah. Django, will you please take care of your dog? I'm kind of busy. Yes, please put him in there.
Yeah.
We all like you, Jesse. That's why we're messing with you. Come on now. Oh, pink. That makes more sense. I was like, Punk Sakura? I like Punk. I like Punk. Yeah. Oh, you already said the fish? Oh, it's Dempsey. Okay, it's Jack Dempsey, I'm assuming. I don't know if there's any other Dempseys. I'm just kidding. Yeah, Jack Dempsey. I see that. All right. But I don't really know what Jack Dempsey's normally go for because I haven't really looked into those. So it's not see, Gabriel's like me. He's got that budget thing down. $25 for a pair of marble angels. See, yeah. That's very true, Laura. I don't remember him saying the price either. That's part of the game now. If you're gonna play it right. Listen, did you say it? Let me check up here. No, yep, he said it. I was incorrect. He spent $50 on one fish. My apologies. Butterfly koi fish. You know, those are really pretty. I saw them. Of course, I don't have a pond or anything, so I couldn't eat koi fish, but I've always thought they were gorgeous. So they are beautiful. Aren't those the ones that are like black and orange and white? Cecil says he's a cheapskate. The most he's ever spent on a fish was a Melbetta, and he paid $60 for him. That isn't. I'm the cheapskate. I'm over here like $25 for one pair, or 28 for 7. Like a rare fish. And I'm like, yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, your local fish club auctions, those are jewels. They are diamonds in the rough, let me tell you. Because as soon as I found out what Kalitawas were, I thought they were great. I really wanted them, but they'd only been in the hobby for like, I think it was 5 years since 2019. Yeah, 5 years. So I was like, there's no way I'm ever going to find them. They had like 7 lots for sale at the local aquarium club. Somebody local had been breeding them and had plenty to go around. So I was able to get a group of 7 really beautiful juveniles, mixed group of Kalitawas. And I got them for around I can look exact, but it was either $28 or $32 because I paid $28 for one of. I only bought 2 sets of fish. I bought the pair of green dragon, longfin green dragon bristlenose plecos, and then I bought the 7 Kalitawas. And I don't remember which one I paid $32 for, and I don't remember which one I paid the $28 for. So. Okay, so anybody else? Oh, I'm gonna take Cecil's comment off there. Okay, so all right, so we've done the most expensive fish. Okay, what fish have you found to be the most difficult to care for? Like above all, like water parameters and food, whatever. What is and what makes them so difficult to care for? Honestly, for me myself, I've been kind of lucky. I haven't really had too much of a problem with, not here, with fish being difficult to keep, but I literally have done my best to make sure that the fish I buy or the fish I look for are not difficult to care for. I try really hard to make sure that they're, with me having so many tanks and it just being me and my daughter, I can't really, like, we thought about getting axolotls because I have a friend who's into axolotls and they're so freaking cute. Bye, Laura. Thank you for coming. But we thought about getting into axolotls, and then we looked at it and we were like, okay, they're gonna need a lot of different specialized care than what I'm used to. They have a lot of do's and don'ts. They need things like chillers. Which granted in my house they'd probably be fine, but I don't know that I've had any that are, I think the hardest I've had to take care of are probably the electric blue cars, but not because they're actually hard to take care of, because I've had no problem with that. I haven't had any problem with aggression or nothing, but they need a lot of space. And so like if something happens to the tank they're in, I don't have anywhere to put them. I have to, juggle and do things like whenever Gidget, my smallest one, she's about probably 3 inches, maybe, if that, 2.5 probably. She was getting bullied by the other 3. They were in a 55 together because I thought I'd have my 125 up before it got to be a problem. And I'll be damned if they didn't start picking on her. Poor girl. Well, I don't know if it's a girl or not, but in my mind, she's a girl. Anyway, so I took her out and I put her in a 20-gallon log. Now, that is not by any means big enough for electric blue car, but I thought, just temporary. I'll have my 125 up soon. No big deal. That didn't work out so well, as you guys know. But she was like kind of the exception. She was small enough I could throw her in somewhere else and she'd be fine. But like Sid, he's he's at least 4 inches by now. Like he's big compared to my other fish. So there's a limited space that I have for him. Plus some things like, they're not aggressive, but they are super, super curious. Like I put the Pandagara in there and they swam up to him like they were going to do something. I was like, oh my God, there goes my Pandagara. And then they stop and then they like circle him like a shark. And then they'll just sit there and stare at it like they're trying to figure out what it is. They're so curious. They want to know, and they'll nudge it a little bit. They won't try to nip it. They won't bite it. And the only time they chase it is if it runs. The minute it stops, they stop too and wait to see what it's going to do next. But their curiosity will kill smaller animals just because they're freaking curious. So they're kind of the hardest ones. So let's see. Aquarium Fantasy says angelfish because they keep eating their eggs. Yes, that does not seem fun. My electric blue acaras, apparently some will hatch their eggs and parent them real well, and others will eat them, and sometimes they eat them before they get a chance to, grow up, before they learn how to take care of them. I'm kind of hoping that if any of mine breed, they do that right now really soon. Okay, and then Christopher says bucktooth tetras, little assholes. Let's see. Gabriel says he had the same issue with the angelfish. Okay, nobody else is saying anything. So, anybody else got a horror story fish? No, no horror stories. Well, we managed to fill up another 30 minutes with those stories. Okay, so if these are our least favorite fish then. So the least favorite fish, the ones that, no, that I won't say that. Okay, these are the ones that have been hardest to care for. And I think mine, like I said, I said mine was the electric blue acara, but I'm kind of thinking these killifish are, because them fish jump. They jump like they don't, I'm telling you, like I said earlier, they have freaking superpowers. The minute you think they're not going anywhere, they're gone. They will disappear and you will never see them again. They have freaking, they can teleport, I'm telling you. Ask me how I know. Okay, Christopher said mandarin gobies are a pain, constantly buying copepods. Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen a mandarin goby. Gobies is not one of the things I've done a lot of research into, because even though I kind of like them and I would like some. Yes, that is very true. Killifish don't care for their safety. They don't give a flying what. So, yeah. And I'm trying to think, is there, now I'm really thinking that these cichlids over here, these African cichlids I got yesterday, might give my cars a run for their money. I mean, they're beautiful and everything, but from what I understand, they're vicious little brats. We'll just put it that way. Well, I mean, my friend had them, and when she got them, we didn't really know a lot about them. The guy at the store said, "Oh, they should be fine with your cories," because she was buying cories. She wanted the cories, and she was thinking she would make like a small community type take. Well, we got these, and we thought, well, we'll look them up. We looked them up a little bit, didn't really find any pertinent information that seemed to say, don't get those. And then she got some cories to go with them. Well, within 24 hours, I believe it was, I'm pretty sure, they had killed 2 of those cories. So she was like, no, she had to move the cories out and move them into a different tank. Luckily, she had a small tank to put them in, and they're still young, so they're still really small. And so, and then she was trying to keep them, but then after doing more and more research, we realized they won't make a community tank with anything. Like they barely tolerate each other. So she didn't really want them anymore. So she's like, that's not what I want. And I have more tank space than she has. Well, it's just like kind of a blessing and a curse. But yeah, so she asked me if I had room for them, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll take them. Which I had just moved my rainbows into there, so I was like kind of liking them being in there. So, but I was like, I'd already told her that you know, I had plenty of tank space, so I wasn't gonna lie to her. So I took them out, which is no big deal. The rainbows can go in anything. I just have to find something to set it on. I've got the tanks, I just need something to set them on. So, okay, let's see. Christopher says one of his favorite fish are rainbow emperor tetras. They're really, but they're bullish, huh? Yeah. Okay. No, Aquarium Fantasy, I did not find another 125. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to look for it right now. First of all, I don't have the headspace to deal with that right now. 2, it's going to be one of those situations where I have to figure out a way to save up the money. And I don't know if you've ever had issues with money before. Most people have, but when you have such a small income, you don't really get much to save for later, you know. And so saving is kind of, and whenever you do manage to save something big comes up, and you got to take care of it so you don't have your savings anymore. So, but yeah, so I'm not going to be looking for another 125 anytime soon, because besides being so frustrated and upset over that last one, I really don't think that that's a plausible, feasible possibility for me right now. So, oh, Christopher's got a love-hate relationship with breeding rainbows. Do they grow slow? Well, I mean, these kind of grew slow too. I mean, that was only a couple months. So. an indoor pond. Yeah, I really wish my house was my house was clean. You could see how small my living room is. Like, it's a living room and dining room, like in one, like, or a breakfast nook, however they call it. And it is literally, I don't know, Anita, how big would, well, I don't know, I'm asking you. I can't even tell you how big it is, but I can walk from one side to the other in like 2 seconds. And my point is, there's not any room anywhere for anything like that. I had to get rid of furniture to get rid of furniture. And my double recliner was sitting next to me by the patio doors right there. And I got rid of it so I could get the 125 in here. And now I don't have any room for it back because I've got other things for them for space now. So no, I would love, I actually thought about doing an outdoor pond on my patio, but my landlord will not have it. No, he won't. Sorry, I don't know what that was. But the landlord's not going to handle that. So he won't let me put anything on the porch. He keeps saying everything is an eyesore. Keeps threatening to haul stuff up. I'm like, there's nothing. It's our seating. We are sitting there. What is wrong? Anyway. Oh no, that is one thing I will need. My couch and my bed, aquarium fantasy. Those are the only things I need. Well, and my TV, but I can hang that on the wall above the aquarium. And you have to kind of have some walking space a little bit. Besides, I'm not the only one that lives here. I've got a kid too. Maybe I should take her back. I wonder if the hospital will take her back. It's been 14 years. I don't think I'd get what I paid for her, though. Okay, guys. So let's see. Most money ever spent. Christopher says most money he ever spent on the hobby was buying 2 240s and 2 300-gallon tanks from a doctor in Queens. Filled a 24-foot U-Haul with tank sumps. Wow. Wow. Oh, I have to have my TV's aquarium because I have to have some emotional support noise while I'm watching my fish. No, I actually do spend, since I have tanks. I have, I think, 13 tanks in here. I think that's what I counted. 13 tanks in here, and they all go completely around. So, and my TV is above my 2 big 55s, my first original big tanks. So I will turn something on, and I'll spend more time actually just watching my fish, looking around watching my fish, than I do actually watching my TV. So, but yeah, I think it's not a bad time to wrap up. It's almost been 2 hours, guys. Thanks for sticking with me that long, although I have lost a few of you, I guess. So how about any last questions or anything before we log off on this? Wow, the most you've ever spent was when I bought all my aquariums, which cost me close to $5K. Damn. I think maybe, well, I mean, if you count food and stuff, I was about to say, I don't even think I've spent that much on the whole hobby, but I guess I probably have. It's not like I keep up with it, unfortunately. But, or fortunately, probably, because the numbers probably would scare me. Okay. Yeah, I will. If I can, I'll live stream. I don't know if I will make it an every week thing because coming up with these topics and not being able to deliver is not something I really want to worry about. So I will talk to people. We'll figure out. Oh, thanks, Christopher, future queen of Killifish. You know I'm going to rule it. I will. Thanks. It was fun with you too. But yeah, I plan on doing another live stream. I'm not sure when. I don't want to schedule it and then, and then it not something happened or nobody comes or something. So I'm still a little nervous about all this. So if, yeah, I'll just talk to everybody and see what kind of topic they would like. I don't even know if it'll be a topic, but like general discussion, because I want everybody to be involved and I want people to not just like to watch, but like be part of it and everything too. So well, I'll give some ideas and I'll think about my next live stream. But yeah, if you guys want to come hang out with a stuttering person, go for it. But yeah, I'll do it again. Just not sure when. So, all right, let us wrap it up. Say our last goodbyes. Thank you for sticking with me. You guys have been fantabulous, all 4 of you. Anyway, So you guys have a good night, and I hope your Saturday is wonderful. Don't forget to roll your sleeves up because that's important. Otherwise, you have wet shirt and all that. It's not fun.